Hey folks, I'm Camille WHO Armstrong, the Performing Arts Renaissance woman. For over 40 years, I've worked as a performer, educator, consultant, and coach. But most importantly, I'm a parent. From classrooms to stages to bedtime routines, I've spent my life nurturing creativity, character, and connection in the next generation. This series is for you, whether you're expecting, learning as you go, or parenting for the first time, or even third time around. I'm here to share the insights, tools, and real talk I've gathered over 4 decades of hands on experience. Welcome to Camille Who, the Child Whisperer. I'm so glad you're here. Quality, not quantity. This is something that my mentor told me when I was a young mother who had small children, and I had to start working. Now, my hope was to, and my dream was to be a stay-at-home mom, but I started to realize that there's more to me. And not only that, I was getting to a place where my partner, my husband at the time, we both needed to work. We had multiple children, and we both needed to work in order to make ends meet, in order to take care of household bills, just living expenses. And nowadays, we are living in a society, we're living in times where both parents have to work. And so I get it. I would, sometimes I would buy my child a new toy or my children a new toy or create ways where they would be able to sit around, maybe turn on some shows or something like that. Because I would come home and I'd be exhausted, or dad would come home and he'd be exhausted. But what happens with that is that then I start feeling guilty because I wanted to be a stay at home mom and now I have to work, and then I come home and then I'm exhausted and I can't give my child, or my children that attention that I really wanted to give them and the time that I really wanted to give them. And I would create these times that I would fail at. I would create, let's do this then. We'll try to, incorporate more of these kinds of like extra kind of playing times that to have with my child. And then I would fail miserably. And then I would just feel more guilty. And then I remember my mentor saying, Camille, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. Quality is better than quantity. And that really sort of gave me that light bulb that I needed to start to just understand that really having your child or children as just a part of your day is really probably the best way to have that quality time without having to create these new activities and these new schedules and this schedule that you have to follow every single day that you're going to fail at, because sometimes you're going to be tired and you're going to be exhausted you're coming from work, and all the things that you have to juggle as a parent. You come home, you have to cook dinner, you have to do bath time and bedtime and all those things, and really those are the quality times: bath times, bedtimes, crazy time that you could do really for 5 minutes. 5 minutes of crazy time with your child, that is quality. That is creating connection. That is creating those times where the bonding times. That's creating quality moments with your child. There is no substitute for time spent. You can think that investing in different activities outside of the home, you you think that spending money or trying to create some sort of everyday schedule that you can go by is the way to go, but really you can actually have these moments, and they be quality time spent between you and your child. Time spent with your child teaches all those things that are in a relationship. Your child is learning morals, your child learns values, your child learns language, your child learns etiquette, your child learns emotional regulation, and they learn relationship skills just by time spent with you. These are just simple, everyday moments that have to happen anyway. So, here are some really simple times in your day that can be done with your child. I mean, ranging from infancy to toddler times to preschool age to elementary school time. These are moments in your day that your child can just be consistently with you. Brushing your teeth, washing your face. There's one. And this is, you teaching them, personal hygiene and self-love skills. These are skills that they need for life. And you don't necessarily have to create this game and do like, all right, this extra thing. It's something you have to do every day anyway. Another thing that you have to do every day is make meals, right? So you can make meals, or you can make your lunch for work, or whatever it is that you have to do, but you're doing it now with your child. Maybe your child helps you make the meal. Maybe they're just around to put the carrots in the pot, or you cut things up and and you put it in a bowl and they're able to dump it, whatever it is. They're learning how to cook. They're also learning the love of cooking. They're also learning the love of making a meal. Is there something that's actually happening in the brain when you think of a meal, create the meal, and then eat the meal? You can look it up, but there's something that's magically, really scientifically happening in the brain when that whole sequence happens, and you're now including your child in that process. And even thinking of the meal, and even saying, okay, now here's what we need to do first, and here's what we need to do next, and just having them be a part of it. It could be one meal a day. It doesn't have to be all three meals, but hey, if you could do all three meals, then go for it. Or 2 meals a day, go for it. Taking a crazy time. Crazy time is like, I mean, and you can get crazy. That's the whole point. Is you're saying, okay, all right, in 5 minutes we're gonna have crazy time, right? You can get a 5 minute burst of energy just so you can have crazy time. It's something that you guys can just let loose in the house. You're jumping on the bed, you're doing silly things like standing on your head, I don't know, doing jumping jacks, and with one shoe on. I mean, you can get crazy. You put your hat on your foot, just silly, crazy things that open a door and say goodbye, or close the door and you say hello, whatever crazy time looks like for you. That's something you can do really for 5 minutes with your child, and that your child is learning how to, like, that's teaching actual, your child is learning emotional regulation that way, that they know that there's a time and a place where you can get crazy, and there's a time and a place where you can't. Right? So you're allowing that time to happen in their life and in their day, so that when it's time to not be so crazy, they've already gotten that energy out, and you can say, okay, this is not that time. Reading bedtime stories. I always do 3 stories before nap time and 3 stories at bedtime. These are great bonding moments where you are just having personal, quiet time with your child, and walking into the world of imagination with them, and and you're also teaching your child the love of learning and the love of reading, just by spending that story time with them every day. I like to use 3 of the same books every time, because then eventually, and this is you're teaching your child language as well. Eventually your child starts to, because they know these books, they start to repeat, they start to read along with you. And sometimes you can say, all right, here, you read the book tonight. And they will look at the page and they'll be able to say what's actually happening in the story or in the book. It's really amazing, and it does well for their early childhood brain development. Singing, dancing together, cuddles, right before bed or right before a nap. These are great ways to bond with your child, and you don't have to spend every single hour with them. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I get it. We have to work, and work takes a lot out of us. But we have to know that our priority is, if we're going to have children, we need to know that they are the priority, right? And their experience is the priority, and how they experience you, that's the priority. And how we stage that daily movie, that's the priority. So that should come first, guilt free, exhaustion free. Now you're going to be tired, don't get me wrong, right? it Raising a child takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot out of you, but it doesn't have to take everything out of you, and you don't have to raise your child exhausted in a way, and laden with guilt. So before buying a toy, just think about it. Does my child need another toy, or do they need connection? Right? Do they have a good balance of connection with me, or am I just buying another toy when they already have a lot of toys? Do they get to play with every one of those toys every day? Then chances are you don't need to buy another toy. Find some moments in your day to connect with them, and to keep it sort of, just keep it daily, keep it consistent. You don't have to do everything. If you have two parents in the house, then one parent can do the washing the face and brushing the teeth morning routine. Another parent can do the meal making or lunch making. Another parent can, you can switch off moments. Pick your moments, keep them consistent. You will then create this well-rounded child, great with relationships, great in language skills and emotional regulation. All of these things are possible. You don't have to do everything. Pick your moments. If you're the only parent, pick 2 or 3 of these moments. You'd be surprised how much they do for you, for your bonding, for your child's early childhood development, for your child's brain development and their emotional development. When you have these moments with your child, be fully present. If you are creating a meal, turn off the TV. Maybe you have music playing, and that's your thing. Cool. You can be singing while creating that meal, while you're making that meal. You can be dancing while making that meal. If you are sitting with your child and, say, about to read a book, or maybe you are choosing to play something with your child, put the phone down, please. Put the phone down. Like, there should not be any distraction. Remember what the priority is: their daily movie, their emotional well-being and regulation, their bonding time and connection time with you, their early childhood brain growth and development is the priority. Being fully present. So if you pick 2 of those moments, 3 of those moments, and keep those consistent and be fully present, you are creating and raising a well-rounded child who will be a well-rounded and emotionally regulated and intelligent adult. That is it. I am Camille WHO, the Child Whisperer, and I am out of here. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Camille WHO, the Child Whisperer. A heartfelt thank you to the generous supporters of the Books and Beyond campaign. This series wouldn't be possible without you. If you're a new or expecting parent, I created Better Parent, Better Future just for you. I empower first-time parents to embrace a positive mindset and navigate those early parenting years with confidence and joy. Click the link in the description to learn more, or to find out how we can work together. Until next time, keep showing up, keep growing, and keep leading with love.